welcome back. I, of course, am your channel host, Aethelwulf, the Viking wolf, Arctic wolf type situation, right? Silver type situation, gray muzzle, woof, bark, bark. And of course, I've got my basically, you're pretty much the co-host at this point. The always incredible and beautiful Parker. You may always introduce yourself.
I'm Parker. I'm a fox, and I love doing these things with Aethelwulf here.
Indeed, they're always amusing to chat about. I don't know. I never did these a long time ago instead of the weird little campy videos I did on the other channel. Not furry related, or were they? But this episode, I thought we would go ahead and go a little lighter in terms of discussion and talk about alternatives to fursuits and fursuiting. It seems, of course, in the fandom, if you're a suitor, that's kind of like the peak of what you can get to express your persona. However, they are also getting very expensive. I would suggest going with a local, not corporate suitor maker situationer. But there are a lot of alternatives now
Yes.
that are, in all honesty, sometimes a bit better than a suit, a little bit more creative. And so let's discuss. I've got a list here. I actually forgot to even add another item to it, so I'm going to write that down. But let's start with what you have, which is pet suit, which is kind of taken the fandom by storm.
Yeah, they are. I do like to think that I was one of the first ones to get one, at least locally. I got mine in August of 2020, and it's absolutely fantastic. Basically, it's a spandex suit similar to a Zentai suit, and I had noticed a friend of mine had a number of Zentai suits that were of different anime characters, and I saw that and I thought, well, it's cool and all, but I don't want to be an anime character. I don't know. I want to be my character. I want to be me. And so I did some digging and I found a website that does custom ones. I don't know. Can we plug them in
Yeah, by all means. I plan on mentioning very specific artists in this video for people to go to.
So the website that I went to is forfun.store. I know it's a very strange web address, but it is legitimate. They're out of Taiwan, I think. I could be wrong on that. But they were fantastic and easy to work with, and I absolutely love my pet suit. They're the only ones that I found that have the option of putting together a completely original design. Basically, you just fill out a little template of what you want your pet suit to look like, and then they can put like an overlay on top of it to make it look like fur.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pick out like different options. There's tons of options. Like you can have the hands attached. You can have them zip on. I think that they have like zippers on the wrists now. I didn't get those, but I wish I did because they're not easy to use your phone while wearing the spandex fingers.
Yeah.
But it's just fantastic. It breathes really well. And I like it a lot because I can wear it in a lot more different situations than I could a fursuit. I can wear clothes over it, and I can wear it in just about any weather, and it's fine. I don't have to worry about overheating or anything like that. It breathes very well. At least I think it does. Better than a fursuit anyway. And it's very light and easy to pack up. I just throw it in my little backpack and take it where I need to go, or I wear it underneath my clothes, and then good to go. I do have a partial that I wear with it for the head, and sometimes for the tail. But at the end of the day, it's a very convenient, very much less expensive method of being able to be my persona and have that as my skin.
Yeah,
I think it costs a little over 300, maybe
it
around 400.
depends. It depends.
It
So
depends on the
I'm
options and all the other stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm planning on getting one next month. Because prices have actually dropped. So unfortunately, they don't have my basic, completely unoriginal white wolf concept, right? As an available option, but all the ones that I've seen of similar typing are just $200, and
Again.
beyond that, they really aren't very expensive. We're going to discuss some things that are a little bit more expensive, a little bit less expensive, but obviously completely and utterly less expensive than a fursuit altogether. But and I'm going onto that website right now. You said
Mhm.
forfun.store.
Fun dot store.
Um, yep. Uh, Let me write
It is
that
an
down so we
18
can add
plus
that in.
website. I should have said
Yes.
that ahead of time.
Yeah. So the suit itself doesn't have to be, but the website is. So,
Very
uh,
much so.
yeah. So I'm on it right now as we record here, and I'm seeing not that actually. Let me pull it up. Here we are. Bippity bop. Um, so you can go through different colors. There's like pet skin. There's a whole wide range of things. However, the colors are like very generic in terms of like it looks like it's just I don't know, maybe like a dog.
Well, the concept of it, little adult content
Mhm.
is for puppy play, like
Yeah.
for that sort of demographic. It just happens to be that you can make custom ones, and furries are jumping all over that.
Oh yeah. Because I mean that's a great outlet for completely customizing your persona and being able to wear that on you. Of course, it's a take on the idea of of a wetsuit. I don't know if it actually is a wetsuit though,
No,
but
no,
yeah.
it's not like any kind of material like that. It's just like a
I'm on
just a
I'm on
spandex.
I'm on one section where it shows shirt and pants combo,
Yep,
and I'm like, I don't watch it, but I think it'd be funny if a wrestler went out with the leggings. That'd be cute. Uh,
they have a lot of really cool options and varieties that you can get from
yeah, indeed, and species, of course, too.
it.
Um, like we've mentioned a billion times over, you can customize, but there are generic options here besides just the generic coloring. Is they've got uh latex too, but they've got Anubis. They've got birds, bear, cheetah, cats, in a variety of different styles, from cartoony to realistic, and crocodile for some reason. If you want to dress up as Reptile from Mortal Kombat,
Why not?
uh, exactly, and even just a lot of like completely out there colors. But that's just hyena as well, awesome, and shepherd. So that's just kind of like a little generic option. I'm seeing their generic options of when I say generic, I mean just the store available, not custom, ranging from
Hyenas are
uh,
so generic.
yeah, 199. Well, so would mine. Mine's just a white wolf, so it's just can I have the wolf but not that color? Um, ooh, my little tag, sorry. So I'm seeing the prices go from 199 to 209. So I mean that's a pretty decent price.
Did I cut out?
A little bit,
Okay,
but I got you here.
cut out for a little bit there, but
Oh
you
yeah,
got most of it.
that's what some of
Um,
our edits are here for. For those listening, sometimes there's edits because I cut out, or someone else will cut out, or we say things that probably should be cut out.
it's a really good website, and like I said, they're a good group to work with. So definitely
Yeah,
recommend
yeah.
using them.
And then moving on.
I need to get a new
Oh,
one myself.
oh,
I've like I said, I've had mine for 2 years now, and I get a lot of mileage out of it. A lot of mileage out of it. But
yeah.
the um, the fingers and the toes, well, actually just the fingers. The fingers are starting to get a little worn,
Mhm.
And so I'm going to get a new one. Plus, I also really want the ones with the zippers on the sleeves, so that way I can slip my hand out. Because
Yeah.
right now, if I need to get my hand out for anything, I have to take the whole thing off, and that's not
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Definitely take
no.
that at the moment. So yeah, definitely want to get that.
Although I guess in a way as a sewer, a sewing person could always, if you know, do it yourself or have someone make a zipper there for you.
Nah, no,
Touche.
it's. I think that the material is such that you would want someone that really is familiar working with that kind of material.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And speaking of sewing and pet suits, let's move on to the next uh, artist or group that are making sort of customized suits slash persona wear for people in the fandom that is literally only just starting to explode and they need to take over immediately, and that's tail ends. Tail ends is basically your shirt, your underwear. Oof, sorry, I had pudding. They're basically making like shirts, underwear, stuff like that. They're starting to do more, but it kind of started as sort of like your undergarments, and they do custom. They do the design themselves, and they print it, they sew it, and everything's situated. I think I got mine in one of the second batches. Now, granted, I'm a white Arctic wolf, right? So mine's like the most basic. Well, here's just a line that denoting a tail. Uh, but some people getting some really beautiful, intricate, custom designs out of tail ends for their Sona. That's really, really, and I think beautiful and interesting to see another artist being able to put that out so that you can have that option to customize and become who you are. Do you know of them?
A few people have shown me that already.
Mhm.
I'm actually really looking forward to getting something from them myself.
Indeed, I think I probably sent you a link as well, but I communicate with them on every now and then, generally Twitter. I tried to reach out uh, just to show support, but they're a great way of getting something that's custom that will fit you.
Definitely plan on getting one from them.
Yeah, mine I think was only $40. Granted, it's just boxers, basically compression boxers. Um, and depends on what you want and the material, I suppose. The material being in when are you getting a shirt and underwear? Or are you just getting the boxers? Are you getting
Underwear.
tighter underwear? You can get a little cheeky with that. Um, but shout out to them. They are on Twitter. So let me get the Twitter handle. It's literally just tail ends, but I want to make sure there's no like underscore or anything like that. Um, but it should just be
Link
at
below.
sorry, what?
There'll be a link below.
Exactly. Yep, it is tail underscore ends no.com. Uh, they've got a link to their website on their Twitter as well, which is tailendstudios.com. And it's made by at Fabermancer. Uh, and they've got links to all their stuff here. Pictures. They do retweet things that are not that things that are of an adult nature because furs like their fetish wear, and this can border on fetish wear. But it's not made specifically for that. It's underwear, right? It's shirts,
Yeah,
socks, your undergarments to make it look like your Sona. And I found one here that's a husky with like pink, gray, and white. So they're all really great. They've just added some new designs, new styles. So it's incredible. I want to shout out to them as much as possible. Um, I'll link them to this so they know I'm schmoozing. But uh, before we move on to anything else, out of those two, is there anything else that you kind of denote within the fandom that you notice other artists that are kind of providing for people this sort of outlet?
there's a lot of stuff actually. I know that there's some companies that make custom face masks.
Yep.
That was getting really big during COVID, and I'm sure they're still out there. But you can get like a custom face mask of your fursona,
Hmm.
and a few people that I know have custom apparel. So I have some friends that will make like little embroidery on like a shirt or on a hat, and so like if you have like a sticker or an image of your persona that you
Yeah.
want like embroidered on something, you can absolutely get that done. I would plug them, but I don't know what their store is.
No
Uh,
worries. No worries. But quick question regarding the masked individuals. Uh, do you have any names of
for the
custom
mask,
masters?
let me see if mine has a name on it. It doesn't.
Touche. I do have one to plug. I don't know if they do custom though, but that kind of think it would be great if there's we could specifically find someone who does do custom persona masks because I'm seeing that kind of take over the fandom as well. So let's sort of move into that because I've got for me since I can't afford a fursuit unless I make one myself. Um, I've got a lot of masks. Some of them are cheap, but I've got a couple that are pretty high quality, detailed masks, such as my Arctic wolf mask. But I've got kitsune masks and cat masks and stuff. But that's all stuff from like Etsy and whatnot. Um, I have found on Twitter that there is honestly Twitter, yeah, right. But let me pull them up. My apologies. Gotta get out of there here. The user is called MagpieBones on Twitter. Let me pull them up here. They do what appears to be like, yeah, MagpieBones on Twitter. So at appears like a realistic. They do more than just masks, but their masks are like semi-realistic to realistic animal masks that are they look like customized to your face, and some of them are a little rough. You know, they kind of look like the '90s horror movie sort of monsters, right? But some of them just look like real, like you took the face off weird imagery, but took the face off an animal and put it on yours, and they look incredible. Some of them have like fur on them, or they might just be the latex, and they've got wolves and boars and uh, I'm looking through. They've got like pictures here. I'm trying to grab things like foxes. I know they've got some birds, and it's all incredible. Have you seen them?
No, I don't.
They got a hyena. The hyena looks incredible. MagpieBones. I really only just discovered them maybe about a month ago, and it's honestly incredible. I think it's very cinematic. Like I said, some of it does look a bit rough. I would probably just mild constructive criticism.
Uh,
Um, lower
Interesting.
the
Okay.
make the muzzles a little thinner. But they are just absolute high quality. You got eye holes, so you can wear makeup and kind of match to your Sona, or you could add eyes if you want, because we do that for suits. You just buy the eyes for the suit stuff and add that yourself. Um, but look at these; these are such incredible quality. They've got
They're very beautiful.
teeth and they've even got tails that move. Like these people are going somewhere and they're doing something.
And it looks like real recycled fur.
Exactly, it looks real. The only notion I would say is it fitting the human form. It doesn't always have that animalistic feature that your drawing or fursuit might have, but it's incredible.
No, these are pretty. I like the this one bird one that I'm looking at. This one.
Yes, they got a deer. They got everything. Like it's incredible. Cheetah's a bit rough.
Really cool too.
We're, we're not gonna talk about the cheetah, but Magpie Bones on Twitter. Let me check if they have a website.
I'm looking at their website right now. It's MagpieBones.com.
It's Denver, Colorado. So if you're going to like Denver, maybe they're there. I don't know. Um, but absolutely, they are incredible. I would love to commission them if possible.
Oh, so,
For
this is like great for like a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not going to look exactly like a fursuit, but like at the end of the day, though, like this, I could see this for sure, like at some sort of like LARP community or something like that. This would be like very fitting for that.
yeah, I think this is like a step beneath partial, right? Like if you got your pet suit and then your magpie bones mask and tail, or you can already have your tail, but the mask, and then you get your tail ends underwear, so you're not looking cheeky. Uh, that would be that. I think honestly, that would set you up. That set you up right there.
Oh, these are really pretty.
I gotta contact them, maybe try to get them to talk here on the podcast. But at the moment, they are not currently open for commission, so it's pretty much what's on the tin is what you can get. But
Well, in my
yeah,
experience working with furs and everything, particularly like with like the real deal, not everything's going to be always available,
yeah,
and it
nor
does
should it.
take a lot of time and effort to do this kind of stuff. So, um, I can
Yeah.
see that, like, if they're making good money just doing like selling pre-mades, then I can see them
Oh
just
yeah.
wow.
It's like something that we'll talk about much later at the quote unquote tail end of the episode here. Um, but yeah, no, these are incredible. Some of them are rough, mind you. It looks like they're new and getting started and learning this beautiful craft. But some of them are just, in all honesty, I'd rather have this than a fursuit. So, me personally, sometimes fursuits are very clunky. They're very big, and I don't mean like inflator fursuiters. I mean like just like giant masses of foam and fur, right, and fabric. They don't quite convey the slimness, the not the right word, slimness, but the appropriate proportions of your fursona, whatever proportion your persona is. So this is incredible. Um, but beyond that, before we move on to some other little things, is there anything that maybe we might not discuss that you might know that you'd like to throw in there? Like I do plan on discussing, partials, cosplay, clothing, and I know it's a little cheeky, but the pup stuff.
Sorry, you wanted to get. I was trying to dig up some information. So regarding the face masks, it's Vixen. Don't I don't know how to pronounce that. I will post it in the chat. I'm gonna, and you can figure out how you want to pronounce this on the podcast. Where's the chat? Where is the chat in here?
It is just one step up if you go from
In
recording
discussion.
booth to discussion.
Okay, that's the website.
Vixen.
That's who did my face.
Okay, and it's VIXNDWN. It looks like a Q.
Yeah, it rolls right off the tongue. They do a lot of custom stuff. Actually, they do
Okay,
a lot of custom stuff. Oh wow, okay.
I'm seeing like
Pins,
I'm seeing like blankets.
hats. Okay, so they do a lot of stuff. Oh my god. They do trading cards. I guess that's all they're open for right now.
Let me write that. Oh well, never mind. I don't have to write it down. You sent it in the thingy.
So it looks really open for these anymore. I don't even
Well,
know
then
if
that makes
they're
yours even more unique. If you, I
They
swear
might
that's a Q.
they might not be doing them anymore. So We don't have
Okay.
to.
Well, all
So
the same, they should get a plug if they created that. Um, I don't know if you have a pic of that. Obviously, it's not going to be put up here on the podcast, but you can always catch us on the Twitter. At the end of the episode here, we do have the credits with our Twitters in our insties, but they still deserve a shout out. Oh,
a one-time thing or something, because I'm not seeing those anywhere
hmm,
on their page. Hmm.
but it's a nice. Everything here is still nice. Um, I don't know if you have a picture of that on your Twitter of you of the mask. Are you in the mask?
No, I don't have any picture of it, and mine
Oh,
actually doesn't fit me that great. That's why I don't wear
touche,
it.
touche. Um, that's all right. So,
It's
so I'm trying to think up myself before we move on to sort of like more generic stuff. I did want to kind of discuss furs in the fandom that are making things first, but I
yes,
kind of don't have much
sure.
else at the moment besides tail ends and magpie bones.
I was
At least
trying
in
to
terms
get a
of
hold
suiting.
of my friends that do the embroidery and everything, but I don't think I'm gonna get in touch with them right now. Um, I didn't think about it until now.
No worries. That's kind of how these podcasts roll. We're very sort of off the cuff, kind of like at the tip of our potato minds.
So basically, when it comes to my mask that I got, it's any artist can really do it. It's really just designing the how it's going to look, and then going to one of many websites out there that do like custom prints of face masks or even
All right,
shirts, and having them like print it out.
gotcha. Oh, touche, touche. Kind of like one of my kitsune masks.
Right. So like even
Yeah.
though like this artist, that we're talking about, like even though they designed it, like all they did was just draw it.
Hmm.
They didn't like make it.
Yeah. Uh, well, even still, that's a good outlet for some people. Um, but let's talk about probably the more expensive alternative to suiting, and that's kind of half suiting, right? Partialing, whether it's just your arms or your tail, or maybe like yourself, you've got a head. Obviously, that's a little bit more expensive than what we've talked about, but a lot less than a whole suit. Um,
The head's always the most expensive part in my
Mhm.
experience,
Yeah.
and they can be anywhere from $500 to $5,000, depending on all the stuff and bits and pieces, as well as the artists and that you go with and whatnot. Mine personally has a fan inside, as well as the cheeks light up, and I absolutely love it. Mouth moves with mine, and I just found like a really good maker that I really liked, and his name is Roofer, and his website is roofer.com. He's absolutely wonderful to work with, though he's not always open for commissions. I
Mhm.
think he opens once a year for commissions.
Is that like rufer.com?
OOFUR.com.
Roofer.com. Write that down so we can keep that in the little tabbies. Here it
But yeah,
is.
he
Yeah.
did a head for me, as well as hands and feet paws, and as well. Oh, sorry. He did my head, my hands, feet, and tail, and it's actually really really nice. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking about going back to him to get a bodysuit as well. But again, he only opens every now and then for commissions, so I have
Yeah.
to catch him at the right time.
And you should also note they're toony. So in the toony style. Um, but I'm on his website. He's got a wide variety of things that he does.
Oh yeah, he has a wide variety of things. I was gonna say I don't think mine's that toony.
Well, I think that's the style they call it, because now we have like a realistic. ones that
I
look
guess it, like,
absolutely
compared to
beautiful.
realistic, I guess it would be more toony.
Trying to see if yours is here in the gallery, but it's not. But in any case,
I
uh,
should be in there.
uh, uh,
It was a few years ago, so I'm sure he's
oh,
done.
yes, there you are, Parker. February 2018 completed.
Oh, it's been that long.
Hmm. So yeah, you can see in better detail Parker's head here, and looks great. Obviously in person, absolutely. The pictures make it even more beautiful with
Aw,
the
you.
set here. But yeah, everything looks great on this. But a partial, I've kind of thought about starting with. Like I've got some stuff to start doing some things here in the channel as a kind of how to make or making in the progress since I don't can't teach you how to make if I don't know myself. But I think a partial is a great way to start a suit if you're not sure or you're looking to get into it, but you don't have the money. Kind of a partial might help you kind of get halfway there.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, that's kind of what happened with me. Originally, I had commissioned Roofer for a full suit, and we got most of the way there, but I just could not get over that last bar in terms of paying for it. So we agreed to a final price, and then we just went from there. And I just
Hmm.
got my head and the parts that I got with it, and I was quite content.
Well, there you go. Um, uh, Not to be mouthless or wordless. I'm just looking through them. Um, some of them look really amazing, like this hyena one. Um, and
Really
there's
see too, if you go through his gallery, you could see like the progression of his talents getting
yeah,
better and better.
yeah. The last one though is kind of rough, but it's a
Which is the last one?
very toony cat.
Oh, Glitch.
Yeah, but
I think it's kind of cute.
if you look at like there's a cat here that kind of looks cell shaded. That's interesting.
Cute. It's
There's
cool. I think he did really good with the lines.
there's the bat. Looks great. Oof. Yeah. Not to bog down too much. But yeah, there's a wide variety of local furs that you should check out. Um, Always go local. Always go with small time furs because we don't need corporate in the fandom. And typically those big time makers, and we'll talk about them. And I got nothing major against them, but some of them I've seen here and there over the years with controversy and so sometimes you want to look into what you're doing. So I think it's a lot safer to go with a local fur at first. If you feel like you really like one of those big ones, then by all means. But maybe look into who's making it for you.
It's good to go with a local fur, especially someone that you know, because you get a you can get a better idea of what you're getting into as far as like uh, the work that they're going to put into it and the quality, because you can see it,
Yeah,
probably see it in person, some of their other examples. And then on top of that, doing like measurements and everything is so much easier for someone local. I mean, Roofer lives in Colorado, I think.
mhm,
So
a lot
can't
further.
really do measurements directly. So he has like a whole laundry list of measure this, then this, then this, then this. Um, some makers do like duct tape dummies, but he
Oof.
doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a duct tape dummy. Um, Oof. So
Contract.
indeed. So some also are like they're not going to do a suit unless it panders to their creative desires. So
Absolutely. There
it
are
really
artists out
depends on
there
the
that are
person.
very particular when it comes
Hmm.
to what they do, and I think Roofer might be one of them because he doesn't do a lot of, as you can see, like he doesn't pump out a lot. He takes his time with them very much.
Yeah, but also it really is a blue tiger. It depends on the person, depends on where you wanna go. I would definitely say go local first because there's a lot of small time people, as we've already mentioned, Tailends, MagpieBones, etc., that are putting a lot of incredible stuff out there that the big timers aren't because they're already established and they already have decided how they're gonna work and aren't going to be doing anything new or better. Kind of like artists, right? Furry artists who kind of found their style and they don't change, they don't get better, they just keep pushing out the same content, same old crap because that's what they know works. That's why I tend to go with new people or people that change their style and people that like to learn. So if you're going for a partial and you're going to be spending up to $5,000, I would say go with
Easily.
go with a small time person.
And who knows? Maybe you get a discount on something if like it's someone that's just starting out and they're just need to practice.
Mhm. Exactly. Like, I mean, I do digital art, but I do a lot of art that's free for friends because it gives me practice and it puts some stuff out there. So it depends on the person. But moving on a little bit outside of direct
I was
referencing
gonna
of
say,
your go ahead.
like, not to get too far away from what
Mhm.
you're looking at for, but another great way to make your persona and express your persona is through a VR chat model. Because
Yeah.
for a couple $100, you could easily get someone to make you a custom made VR chat model, um, looking exactly like your persona. Doesn't even matter. You know, you're big, small, whatever you are in real life, you can be exactly the way, you envision your persona when you're in VR chat. And that's always a lot of fun. I personally have a VR chat model that I had made using a very specific base. And then someone took that base and customized the colors and the look to it. And I absolutely love it.
Indeed, and we actually are going to discuss that later in the podcast with a few other details of similar situations. But yeah,
We already
um,
talked about that. I'm sorry.
oh no, no worries. But yeah, no VR model. Some people can't afford clothing at all in terms of, or financially, but also maybe they're where they live in their situation. So VR is a great way to do that, or art, as we've discussed previously. Um, but getting away from something that's like customized to your persona, obviously there's clothing. There's artists, and I gotta look right now. But there are artists that do hoodies
Hmm.
specifically. I don't know any, so my apologies. I'm looking on Twitter, bip, bip, bop, finding some that might, but because I don't have a hoodie that does that. I just got weird black gothic hoodies. But there's hoodies that you can get that are kind of either custom or just like shaped like an animal, like a wolf or dinosaur or whatever. There's clothing like what Tailends is doing, but obviously maybe a bit more full, right? Like a full legit long sleeve shirt or pants, etc. Do you know anybody that does clothing of that type?
I do. I'm just seeing if I can have it on. There's got to be like a tag or something on here. I have a custom Kigu,
Mm.
and mine was made by. Please have a tag. Please have a tag. Mine was made by Pocket Wolf, and I love it, love it, love it. And it's because as soon as you said hoodie, I was thinking, oh yeah, I got a Kigu. And it's really customized to my persona.
Did you say Pocket Wolf?
Pocket Wolf, PocketWolfFursuits.com, and they are a fursuit maker. They make my Kiku's even on their homepage.
Yes, yes, I've seen that in person. Um,
So
yeah,
yes,
they're
they do hoodies, custom hoodies
oh,
for
that's
anywhere from 600 to 1,000.
almost like a onesie.
If you go on their pricing, they do hoodies, they do gloves and socks, um, onesies, and kigurumis.
Kigurumi.
So I guess mine's a onesie, but I love it that I'm on the thing.
Oh yeah, these are very intricate. These are detailed. These are on the level of like a pet suit or those masks.
These are great.
Oh, I love the bat one.
And they just, like I said, they do a fantastic job. And they actually matched the tail fur and the hair on the top to my fursuit head. So we went through and we made sure that it was going to be an exact match, so that way I can wear my partial with my kigu.
Ooh, yeah, that's awesome. And they're like they're baggy like pajamas.
The kigurumis are like really loose and baggy, and then the
Mhm.
onesies are a bit more form fitting. They're a little bit more snug, but very nice and comfy.
Yeah, they also do toonie suits. I'm seeing there's a is that a Anita Queen or Anita King
I'm meant
or
to get
Anita
hoodie from
somebody.
too.
Oof. Oh, they got a beautiful coyote. Yeah, so that is an awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. Awesome little tidbit. I forgot that you had that because I remember seeing it. It's a beautiful like little onesie thing. Um, PocketWolfFursuits.com, and you mentioned that can go up to like 1,000.
Just a hoodie for my kigu was probably a lot more than that.
Yeah, I'm
Just
seeing it goes from 1,000 to
yeah,
1,500 to a
my
little up.
kigu was probably around the 1500 range. I'm
Yeah.
willing to guess.
As an Arctic wolf, I'd probably just be like two bucks, right? Here's your white onesie. Go away. Um,
Some
well,
plushes,
hoodies are about
they
600.
do just about everything.
Nice. Uh, I don't know anybody else that does just like plain hoodies. So check out Pocket Wolf maybe instead. They do incredibly unique hoodies apparently. Um, but yeah, there's other artists out there that do make hoodies. Put down below in the comments if you're one of them or you know any of them. Uh, any 9 of you who listen, and
We love you, all 9 of you.
and and give some love to the local artists, the local furs that make and sew stuff for the fandom here. But moving a little bit away from the fandom, the local furs, in maybe furries in general, is the concept of cosplay. Now, cosplay has become an absolute, like, pretty much household word now, like Winnie the Pooh. In fact, people are cosplaying Winnie the Pooh. But cosplaying is intense. I guess I've got a lot of friends that cosplay, and they cosplay some like really serious stuff, like it's a life thing for them. Like if they're not cosplaying to the max, they'll die. But I noticed there's a lot of characters out there in shows, movies, games, books, etc. I don't know how you cosplay a book, but whatever. Um,
Playbook.
that also, obviously Pokemon, right? There's Pokemon. How are you? I mean, you can get a suit of Pokemon, but technically that's a cosplay. Um, but I noticed, for me, I've only just started getting into cosplaying, and I haven't even taken any pictures. But I've got a Legacy cosplay. I've got Baron, the Baron from The Cat Returns. I've got a cosplay for him, and a few other things that are not fandom related, but like Star Wars and medieval, but and Pokemon. Like I've got a live action Kakuna, but in life size. But that's a great way to also build your character. A lot of sonas have clothing, a lot of sonas have gear. Um,
Mhm.
so it might be good to sort of start getting that clothing, getting that gear, kind of and wearing your persona, and then you kinda partial it or maybe using the what is it? I don't know what the foam what I don't know what the foam name is. The foam that they use for it, EVGA or whatever. I probably just said something really bad and have no clue what that anagram is. Do you know what the foam is that they use
For
for
what?
cosplay?
For what specific part of the cosplay? Like, are you
E
talking about Warbler?
No, just cosplay in general. Is it like EVA foam or something like that?
Um,
Cosplay foam.
I think I know what you're talking. You're talking about
EVA,
like
EVA, whatever that
EVA
means.
foam.
Yeah, just the flimsy foam that people are using for everything
Yeah,
these days.
yeah. Like
Um,
you can get EVA foam to make a lot of stuff. But the and it's great and all because you can use that to create a lot of stuff. I particularly like always mentioning Warbler because I feel like a lot of people that aren't like deep into the cosplay community know about Warbler, but Warbler is just it's fun to say. Warbler. But basically, what it is it's like an EVA foam, but EVA foam is like very soft and it's very flimsy and it's very flexible, but Warbler is stiff. And then when you heat it up with like a heat gun or something, it
yeah,
becomes very pliable. So
okay.
it's basically it's almost like a foam, but also like a clay.
Right.
And so then you can see in a lot of intricate cosplays how they'll have like very detailed parts like on a sword or something like that, and
Yeah,
sometimes it's made out of warbler in order to make it retain the shape that
Warbler.
they're making.
Can you spell that?
Yes, I can. I think it's yep, it's spelled just like it sounds, Worbla.
That way those listening and just hearing blah, 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 blah can be like, "Wait a minute, what is that?" Um,
But you can make literally anything out of warbler.
mm. Now I don't do that. I do clothing and kind of embody the persona through clothing.
And you can get clear
But
warbler. I didn't know you
indeed,
could get clear warbler.
but I got friends who do cosplays of just an infinite variety, unfortunately, a lot of it being Marvel. But, no judgment. Just, that's a little more to like pet suit. But, that is a great way, I think, and a great modern way of uh, uh, becoming your persona. I know a lot of people when Beastars came out, and I don't know why we don't have season 3 yet, but I'm expecting it. But a lot of people got really creative with legacy cosplays, and that got me into wanting to do that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do that, and I got a legacy. I'm still looking for the pants. Um, that's to say, I've just been lazy and not bought the pants. But I've got a beautiful mask. I've got his entire outfit, aside from the pants. I bought expensive brown shoes that match his exact shoes as drawn in the anime. Um, and weirdly enough, him and Baron von Kinkins Kindikabuka Buka Badooba Dooba Badabadaboo Hibblesworth Potato, the orange cat from The Cat Returns, in that horrible movie called Whisper of the Heart. They have just about the same outfit, except different colors. Um, Baron from Cat Returns. I'm just looking him up so I can get his actual name because it's one of those really long, unnecessary names. Baron Humbert von Gickingson. There's no S in there. Gickingen. Um, they have like just about the same outfit, except Baron is a little bit more posh, whereas Legacy is a student. Baron is wearing a red vest. Legacy has a blue vest. Um, Baron wears slightly darker shade of brown shoes than Legacy, and I literally went and bought two separate lighter and darker shade of brown shoes just to specifically denote between the two. I don't know why that. I think that's a little extra, but to me, it kind of works. But is there any cosplays that you do or ideas that you got out of that?
There are cosplays I want to do. I really want to do Aloy from
Hmm.
Horizon. I
Yep.
really want to cosplay as her someday. It's definitely on my list. But other than that, I don't. I can't really think of anything else that I really want to cosplay. Oh wait, and the protagonist from the game Sayonara Wild Hearts. I really want to
Yeah.
cosplay as her, which is a much simpler cosplay.
Mm. When I do Links from Chrono Cross.
You speaking of your masks and everything, you have a couple of really cool masks.
Yes, I kind of briefly mentioned it when we did the mask thing, but also glossed it over. Like I've got a very highly detailed wolf mask
Mm-hmm.
that I got on Etsy. It's starting to kind of get a little out there, um, as in like it's probably a generic item, but it's really
It's
detailed.
a
It's very
nice looking
beautiful.
mask. It's a very
It
nice.
is. It is. You can get
And
it on Etsy either as white, just blank, but you could also get it painted, or you could paint it yourself. I'd suggest you paint it yourself. Um, I've got some very cheap foam or probably just kind of plasticky kitsune masks.
they look
Um,
fake pictures.
oh yeah, yeah, they're great masks. They are very cheap quality, but they are very great painted. You know, the painting is beautiful. The detail there is shape to it. So they're actually really good quality for being such $10 Halloween masks. I've got a cat mask of the same exact
Those are 10 bucks.
maker
I
and quality of the wolf one.
got on those.
Yeah, I'm not as fond as the cat one because the so it depends on who you get this from on Etsy. I won't link because there's like 50 of them now, but you can the one that I got it from. You can decide, do you want just like a plastic band, not plastic, but a band around your head. It's cloth, but it's stretchy cloth, right? So an elasticized band, or do you want a buckle? And unfortunately, the cat one didn't have the option of getting the band. You had to get the buckle, and the buckle is really annoying to deal with,
Mm.
and it kind of hurts. So I don't really wear the cat one often, but it is very beautiful. It is a beautiful mask. The wolf one is my favorite, and that honestly, the wolf mask is what started me down toward Aethelwulf. Um, just wearing that and embodying that was kind of put me into that.
They make
Uh,
for a great, inexpensive way for you to explore your persona.
it is very inexpensive. I paid for the wolf mask. I think maybe $20 to $40. Let me
Yep.
get the one that I went to rather than what you're going to look up on Etsy. Um, I think you can go into your old purchases. I also have tails and stuff like that, but it's neither here nor there. Um,
And that also brings up another good
I also
point
have ears.
is that like if you go to conventions or you go to it doesn't even have to be a furry convention. You can even go to an anime convention. And a lot of times you'll find vendors that will sell just generic parts like
Yeah, the
ears,
blank.
tails, and claws and such. And that's also another good way to get started with your persona. Even if you can't afford something custom, you can always get something that's pre-made that sort of like fits enough. For a long time, I just had a orange and white tail that I had purchased at Anime Boston, actually,
Yeah,
and some black ears that I also purchased from Anime Boston, and that was kind of all I had for a while because it was all I could afford. And so that's, like I said, that's a great way to get started for those of you who might not be able to shell out, a few $100s for a pet suit or $1,000 or so for, partial um, it works. It definitely gets enough across, and then that
Yeah.
combined with like a custom badge or something, and people will know exactly what you're working with.
Mine was $34. They don't sell them anymore, but they've kind of become a generic product. You can pretty much just look up wolf mask and the exact thing on Etsy, probably on Amazon at that point, but who wants to do Amazon? Um, but they're great. It's very great quality. I would suggest getting the elasticized band rather than a buckle because the buckle is unnecessary. Um, but yeah, it's very beautiful. It's what led me toward Aethelwulf, and also because it's a blank, I was leaning toward a black wolf because I'm very like gothic, right? All I wear is black. Um, but I don't know. Having it as just the white blank was like, you know what? This is very like Viking, which I also do Viking stuff. So that came together nice. At this point, moving forward until the ending of the podcast, that the next item on the menu is very specifically considered fetish wear. It is adult rated, but we're not going to get into adult content or adult natured discussion regarding it.
I will do
Um,
my best.
mhm. Even though we do tend to get a little cheeky here with our pizza title cards for conventions, but pup pup gear, maybe specifically pup masks or pup hoods. I
And we
think
covered pup gear a little bit when we talked about pet suits.
hmm
So pup hoods come in a wide variety of styles and types. You can get them with that are made of like rubber, and then have like a couple of like sort of like plates of rubber that form out the shape of a
Yep,
pup
yep,
mask. Or you can get some that are made out of neoprene, which is a very
yep,
popular style. Or you can get some that are made out of latex and or hard rubber. So they come in
yeah,
a variety of ways, and sometimes they're more customizable than others.
yeah. My two are made of neoprene. I've got a pink and black one and a white and black one. Um, they're great. I love them. I think they're cute. That's beyond the adult nature of them. I just think they're cute. Um,
I have a pink and black one myself,
mhm,
and I
mhm,
actually want to get a new one because I found a vendor that does very customizable ones, and so I wanted to
mhm.
get one that's well matched my persona.
Yeah, we're not gonna link any of them,
You,
on the here. You can probably just look it up. But, I like, I also I myself do leather work, specifically for medieval reenactment, but there are some patterns out there for pup hoods in leather. But also, when I started looking at them, this was prior to Aethelwulf, I wanted to do that, but I wanted to do it in the Sona that I previously had, which I could do as a leather crafter, not everybody, but it's very difficult to sort of find something that's outside of the norm. There are a couple people that do have different Sona specific ones that are not quote unquote pup or dog, right? Um, but I'm not going to link them and I'm not going to talk about them because they are adult natured. But uh, uh, it's an explosion. It's in the fandom. I know it's also a debate, but I'd say just accept it. I think it's adorable. My apologies. And that's my PG natured mind thinking about that. I think that's adorable. I think it's just a new way of embodying a Sona, embodying who you are, becoming yourself, expressing yourself, and you can have that and be part of the crowd, and you can have that and have your own private space and enjoy it in both ways. With everything that we've discussed, obviously there are suits that are cheeky, and I think they're perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with those. And so it just depends on what you want. What do you want to show off? How do you want to express yourself? Um, I love my two hoods. I'm very interested in getting more gear and making gear. So yeah,
a
yourself.
number of things.
Yeah.
Uh, I have a number of things, but just not a full suit yet. And you would think I would at this point, but at the end of the day, it's I. At the end of the day, I just express myself through myself.
Yeah. Exactly. Ultimately, we are our own persona, right? We are our own quote unquote suit. Um, I wish it was better for a lot of people who may feel like they can't express themselves. So you can, join us, our little community, and use that outlet. But these are some, not all, ways that you can express yourself as an alternative to a fursuit.
I'm sure we
But of
forget
course,
something.
oh, absolutely, every time. But as I've known with the other channel that I do with a podcast, we circle around topics all the time.
I mean, there's other things that you can do, such as making, commissioning art of your persona and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But as for something wearable, I think we covered it pretty good.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So then let's go ahead and cap this episode.
Sure.
Um, of course, we mentioned very briefly, uh, and now I forget, even though you literally just said it, but VR models.
Hmm.
I'm not a big fan of VR models. Uh, don't chastise me. Only because they all kind of look the same, and they're all like really low poly quality, right? Like
You haven't seen mine then. Here, I'm going to
I do, please do.
send you what mine looks like.
Well,
Look.
what I mean is that so I go into like the 3D uh, markets online. I look at like really high quality film quality stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. Well, whatever. I'll drop the money, buy that, go into VR, wear that, and then it's like you need to downgrade your poly. And I'm like, oh, come on. I don't
Sending
want
you
to.
mine, and mine's not even the most elaborate one that I've seen.
The wasp one that I saw and did the art of recently was very beautiful.
Hmm.
That was a beautiful model. Um, that actually was really helpful in doing that art piece. Um, but
Yeah.
I see a lot of ones that are just like the hedgehog from like the Sing movies. Um, and I'm like, I want something that is serious, something that's a good quality, something that really denotes the personality of the character. So on that topic, of course, yeah, I see here. Yours looks like kind of like a '90s DreamWorks character. That's not an insult though. It's a compliment. um, like a nice quality like '90s animation like Toy Story and DreamWorks. Um,
But yeah, that's a custom model that was I bought the base from an artist and then another artist colored it in and shaped it.
Nice. I wish I was great at 3D modeling, which I'm sure if I put the time in, I could. But who got time for that? But based on that, uh, obviously, I'm kind of slowly rolling this out and trying to do it a lot faster. But for the channel, uh, you'll notice there's no channel like website or anything, or Twitter or Instagram. It's just Aethelwulf. But I'm starting to unroll details and concept art for the channel program, which will be called Project Fursona, which will be a high quality uh, Fursona maker, basically a character creator using realistic Unreal Engine 5 graphics of anthropomorphic models. And I do need funding for that. And it depends on funding how many base models I can get into the program. Um, if all goes well and exceeds expectations, I would like to put 50 different species into it. Otherwise, you should expect 25 unique species. And then, of course, there's variations that'll be in the game. Not game, but program. But I'm working on that at the moment, which is going to be a very simple, a very, very expressive, and very detailed uh, despite simple, detailed in how the models look, the backgrounds, and what you can do with them. Uh, Character creator, which will be titled Project Persona. My goal is to give people who may not be able to afford commissioning an artist the opportunity to make their persona completely customized from if you're just a white wolf like myself, you can go in there, just grab the base model. You can either use the program's established backgrounds and backdrops to make art yourself using the 3D models. I'm going to put at least 25 different high quality, high rendered, on Unreal Engine 5 3D backgrounds that you can use like a cinema camera to make art of your Sona in different poses, expressions, etc. And also your generic photography studio backdrops, but also give you the option if you don't want to do that, you can just download PNGs, transparent PNGs. You can download the model itself. So if you want to use it in VR, if you want to use it for film or YouTube, etc., you'll be able to download the actual model from the program. And if funding exceeds expectations, I'm going to start small by just trying to get this out there now and then start a Kickstarter. But if expectations for funding exceed what the initial sum will be of what we're looking at, I really would like to allow uh, VR access into the program, right? Because people have VR programs where they can better express themselves in their VR models, and then you can really truly embody your persona. If funding exceeds expectations, I want to be able to allow people to use VR capabilities to literally get into the program, into the body of your Sona, and take the pictures you really want to take. Use the backdrops, the 3D backgrounds like you're there, um, and as well as motion capture. I know on some iPhones and some other phones and devices that are much more accessible these days, you can download motion capture, and that'll allow you to literally put yourself in that model. So that's what Project Persona is right now. I'm starting small focus, just 25 base species, high quality renders that you can take pictures of and um, download so that you can have an outlet to create your persona, customize it, or use base models. Maybe you're a blue tiger, so you'll be able to paint the model however you please. There'll be a paint-in feature for customization. Um, there'll be just the generic, say, German Shepherd, or also hybrid. Like Fulfs. Some people are a fox wolf, some people are cabots. So there will be a level of customization. Just think of the video game character generator or metahuman applied specifically to the fandom, and that's what I'm trying to develop for the channel, for the furry world. So you can, if you want to help us with that, there is a Ko-fi, which is it's just the channel Ko-fi right now. I may do a funding thing specifically for Project Persona if it starts picking up attention. I don't know if I want to make a website, but there is a Discord. You can get into the Discord through the Ko-fi, and that is just the Furry World Ko-fi. It's in the video, and down below. But also, I think I mentioned Ko-fi, and yeah, no, that's pretty much it. If you want to help us fund that before we end up getting into the Kickstarter, on the Discord, I am going to start regularly putting in concept art. And then as I get into the program and start working on the backgrounds, I at least can do the backgrounds. I'm going to do devlogs on the channel. So you can actually see that, yes, this is a real thing, that, yes, this is doable. It is a very simple concept in my head. It's just a character creator just using high definition models. And you'll be able to see it come together, and hopefully it'll explode and become a valuable tool for people in the fandom. But I did want to just announce that in regards to embodying your persona, right? But beyond that, um,
I
I am
can't wait to
oh,
see the development.
indeed. I've already downloaded some models, um, generic models that people have done on like 3D marketplaces. I do want to hire 3D artists and programmers, but that's where funding comes in.
Mm.
So before that, I am downloading 3D models to just kind of give myself a view of what it's going to look like within the program, and use for the devlogs. So the models I download aren't going to be in the program. They're just like ferals, right? They're like a panther or a tiger that you can download in the 3D marketplace. But you'll get an idea of what I'm going for through those examples before I'm able to start hiring 3D artists and programmers, coders. So
That's what you need the
yeah,
Kofi for.
what
That's what you need the Kofi for.
exactly? Um, there are some things with it I'm not sure I want to do, but if the interest is there, we won't discuss it on the podcast. But if the interest is there, we'll see. That's going to be privatized in the Discord if interest is there. But anywho, it will be safe for work completely and utterly. The program itself, so everybody can use it, and everybody can customize their sonas. But beyond that, of course, I am Aethelwulf, the Viking Wolf, and thank you again, my pretty much my co-host. You can give yourself a little outro if you wish.
And thank you so much. This has been a delightful conversation. I always love doing these with you.
Hmm.
I've been Parker, and it's always a pleasure to reach out to this group. And I hope that our little community continues to grow.
That it shall, and thank you for doing this, and thank you all 9 of you for listening. And
Go for 10.
Rabble Owl.